If 14 men piled on top of each other, face to the dirt and rear to the sky, would that be considered a sport? What about if one man, running away with an object in his arms, was being chased by 13 other men? Would that be considered a sport? Most people would say no. These things are not sports, but just silly activities and unorganized events. However, which of those two factors make it a sport? Is it the silly activity or the unorganized event? Organized events and competitions is what makes a sport a sport. People say that esports are not actual sports because they are not physical running, even though they do fulfill the requirements of being organized competitions. Today I will explain to you that esports can be good for you and that they are not that different from our sports today. What are esports? Electronic sports are just like physical sports in that they are a player versus player competition in the form of racing or combat. Most esports are games called MOBAs, which stands for Massive Online Battle Arenas. Smite is a good example of a MOBA. We will continue to talk about that throughout my speech today. In Smite, people, just like on physical sports, have to fulfill their role. Roles can vary from different good positions, such as your quarterback, which is your main star of the show, and then your simple mascot, who's often forgotten. Today I have brought with you compare and contrast of football and Smite. In football, you have three main objectives. You have to get the most points in a certain amount of time. There's a secondary objective, the end zone, and a third objective, the field goal. These two secondary objectives help you achieve your main objective. In Smite, you have your main objective, which is to destroy your enemy, the enemy Titan. There are three side objectives that you can use to get there. These are lanes and towers that you have to destroy if you wish to kill the Titan. Then there are neutral objectives in the jungle, which any team may try to conquer to get an extra buff to help them with the side objective for the main objective. Then you have the positions. In football, you have the quarterback position, which is just like the AD carry position in Smite. They determine the main flow of the game and whether or not the game will be decided in their favor. On the sides here, you have the receivers, who are not that different from assassins in Smite. They follow up on the AD carry's command and eliminate the threat. Then you have the linebackers, who are like guardians, who protect your AD carry from enemies who wish to harm them. Then you have your safety, who's like the mage. They can turn a simple play into something much bigger for your whole team. And then you have the mascot, who's often forgotten in football, who's just like the solo laner. They focus on annoying the enemy team and running away before they can do anything about it. Just like physical sports, esports create jobs for the community. There are the high and mighty thinking professional players who, in physical sports, get paid lots of money for your entertainment. They are not that different from professional players in esports. However, esport professional players also hold Twitch charity streams and YouTube charity events. There are also shoutcasters in Smite, who are not that much different from sports commentators. They explain what's happening to the game and give you their own opinion. Then there are all the people in the background. There are the coaches, obviously, and then there are the team managers. There are also the game producers, music designers, game designers, and there are people who have to man the stations at events. Esports can be good for you and the community. One way they can be good for you is a source of entertainment, whether you play the game or watch the game. If you do any of these activities long enough, you can even coach the game to inform new players of what to do. Just like physical sports, they give a sense of unity. In World War II, baseball became the sense of unity and object that all America rallied behind. Today, esports help bridge gaps. Just this past January, the Smite World Championship was held in Georgia, and teams from North America, Europe, China, and Korea all participated in this event. Unlike physical sports, esports can build relations in person and online. I myself have found many friends online who live in Georgia, and I play with them regularly and I'm proud to call them my friends. Most people would say no, they're not my friends, even though I talk to them about things that I would talk to my other friends. Even though esports are not physically challenging, they're still very challenging in other areas. There are mental calculations that you have to do, and you have to hone your reaction time if you wish to succeed. Smite is a game that started just like a normal online game. However, the community of Smite demanded it to become something more, just like the community of football asked for it to become a sport. Since there is a large section of our community that has it as an esport and views it as such, then why can't you accept it as such?